at the Blood and Thunder Roller Derby World Cup.
Safe to say both teams, two of the farthest traveling teams here this weekend. South Africa had a layover in Dubai, if that tells you anything.
Yep, and because South Africa are here, that means we can say that every continent is represented here at the World Cup as well, so they're most welcome indeed. Lady Trample busts around the outside, and she is our first lead jammer of the match.
Lady Trample had a great game earlier against Norway, put up a 35-point jam that really widened that lead in the early game. We've got a track cut here in Jam 1 against Bugoff for South Africa. That's going to put her in the notorious RED penalty box.
So Lady Trample now jamming unopposed. She's hit the defensive wall there. The South Africans are all lining up ready to repel, but Lady Trample takes it on the inside and puts another 5 points on the board for Team New Zealand. The pack is at a standstill there on turn 2, and that's just how Lady Trample likes it. Number 04, Renee Brown, trying to open up some gaps for Trample. Not quite able to capitalise. Nice defence by Suki Smackhouse, and Trample's through for another 5-point pass.
And we're going to see Bugoff off the bench, headed into the back of the pack, going to meet that full 4 wall. And she finds an inside lane. That's going to put Bugoff out of the pack on her first scoring pass. Lady Trample, another 5 points, of course, on that pass.
So let's see, she's going to go it again. Oh, no, she didn't quite pull off that apex leap. And no points on that pass. However, Bugoff did manage to sneak a point onto the board.
And Lady Trample calling that off in the air so that she won't end up with the track cut on that jump. I think she knew she wasn't going to land that one.
I think she was a bit worried there. But hang on, we've got a official review, so maybe the refs are going to be having a look at whether that should have been a track cut. No, they're back on.
Just kidding.
Number 25, Slamuel Jackson, stepping up to the crease for Team South Africa, and number 38, Evil Knievel in the black for Team New Zealand. We've got a 4-3 pack advantage to Team New Zealand. Let's see if what Evil Knievel can do with that.
Looks like that brief pause there, slight scoreboard issue, quickly resolved.
So Evil Knievel blocked out of bounds by Betty Bonecrusher, forced to yield. And she recovers well, swoops around the outside, around Booty Queen, and Evil Knievel is through.
Sometimes when you get those jammers having to reset back in the back, what you're giving them is just enough space to pick up speed and find that lane.
And find it she did. She swooped around the pack there, but she's struggling a bit now. Booty Queen is skating backwards, and Evil Knievel's forced to yield.
And Nisbet Smith headed to the box for New Zealand.
And 3 points on that scoring pass there for Team New Zealand. So New Zealand certainly coming out guns a-blazing. As we mentioned before, they are definitely the more experienced team of the two. And I've certainly watched these skaters skate for many long years. This is the first time I've had the pleasure of watching South Africa in action.
South Africa's got 1 point up on the board. Once again, Bugoff jamming for South Africa. That's Ivy Knive of Victorian Roller Derby jamming for New Zealand.
And we've got a 4-3 pack advantage to South Africa at the moment. Oh, that was a mighty big hit there by Tara Satana. Bugoff busted out of bounds. Number 11 as well, Justine Saunders, dishing out some nice hits and giving their jammer the time she needed to complete her initial pass. And Ivy Knive is our lead jammer. Pack rounding into turn 2, moving quite slowly. It's just how Ivy Knive wants it at the moment.
New Zealand really doing a great job using the size of their blocking pack. Very, very strong blockers. They've got the addition of Alicia Nisbet Smith and Hannah Jennings of the Rose City Rollers, the WFTDA second ranked team internationally right now. And you can see that teamwork coming into play a lot in the pack.
We've got 5-7-5 Pippa in the yellow skating for South Africa, and Fia Fasioi in the black skating for Team New Zealand. Fia Fasioi, one of the veterans of the New Zealand team. Oh, there she thought she spied an opening. Number 7, Suki Smackhouse, shuts her down. She's in the guts of that pack now, just trying to get brute strength to force her through. Oh, it looks like number 575 Pippa has copped a penalty. Didn't quite see what that penalty was for, and Fia Fasioi is lead jammer and in command of a power jam.
And we did not see Fia Faseoi skate in the first jam today, so this is the first time we've seen her wearing the star this tournament for New Zealand.
There we go. That's a 5-point pass there by Fia Faseoi. And Betty Bonecrusher heading to the sin bin in her wake. Oh, nice works. Just finds the line and claims another 5 points for New Zealand. The pack at a standstill now on the back stretch, and Fia Faseoi taking full advantage of that. Oh, nice little manoeuvre there around Suki Smackhouse at the back. Throws the dummy.
Samuel Jackson, and that is Pit Bullet trying to hold the front line there for South Africa.
But yeah, Fia Faseoi, she's a tough customer. Takes the outside, crosses down the inside, and there's another 5 points. Well, we've got Pippa back in the sin bin now, but she's running afoul of the New Zealand defence, and she's having a bit of trouble getting through. Oh, nice teamwork there. That was Samuel Jackson and Pit Bullet, I believe that was, working together to shut Fia Faseoi's momentum down and block her out of bounds. Very nice. And again, the two of them are working together in a beautiful unit, but she's through again for another fat 5 points. So Pippa running afoul of Nikki Noxious there at the back of the pack. And Fia Faseoi is approaching again, looking for some more points. Pippa breaches the pack. We've only got 10 seconds left in this jam. And Fia Faseoi completes another scoring pass and calls off the jam, leaving South Africa on 0 points in that jam.
So that was a 25-point jam there for Fia Faseoi.
Yep, she absolutely murdered it out there.
Nice work for her debut jam this weekend. I would say that's something she could be proud of. The Serious Crash Unit jamming for New Zealand, also her first showing this weekend so far.
And Sugar Fists in the yellow for South Africa in her first jam of the match. So she tries to go down the inside, but number 04, Renee Brown, stops her in her tracks. Thank You working beautifully at the back with Terra Satana. And Sugar Fist is nowhere to turn.
And that's New Zealand earning lead jammer. Serious Crash Unit.
That's right. She came clumsily out of the front of that pack at an unusual gait as she's heading down the back stretch, but it seems to be working out for her. She finds a line on the outside and she's down for a 5-point Grand Slam pass.
And it's also going to be a power jam because we've got Sugar Fists in the box for South Africa.
So let's have a look at the South African team on full defense. Their Booty Queen. And was that Electric Kel? Not enough to hold back the might of Serious Crash Unit as she completes another scoring pass. Little nudge as she comes through. She keeps her wheels in bounds and completes another pass. The pack is at a standstill, and that's how she wants it right now.
South Africa trying to do that 4-person braced wall there at the front. Doing a good job momentarily here holding Serious Crash Unit. We've got face-to-face Booty Queen and Serious Crash Unit, and now Electric Kel getting in on the action.
So they held her back for a few seconds, which is, that's all you can expect in that situation. And they've given Sugar Fist the time she needed to complete her initial pass. And Serious Crash Unit finds an easy opening on the inside, gets another 4 points on the board and calls off the jam. Again, South Africa unable to score that jam.
Not quite able to hold Serious Crash Unit. Held them long enough to get their jammer released, but not quite long enough to put more points on the board. So far, we're on jam number 5. Every single jam so far has seen New Zealand holding that lead jammer designation.
We've got Lady Trample stepping up to the crease in the black for Team New Zealand and Betty Bonecrusher in the yellow for Team South Africa. Lady Trample pushes her way through, sees an opening and claims it and gets lead jammer within the first few seconds of that jam. And number AK-47, Betty Bonecrusher, blocked out of bounds, forced to yield to Jordan Podore.
Podore is really just kind of a one-woman reel back there in the pack. She's just forcing them to hit reset over and over again. Looks like we've got a pivot cover there on the track.
Podore picks it up and throws it to safety outside the track. And Lady Trample, beautiful work there. Her teammates are hanging back defending against Betty Bonecrusher and just leaving Lady Trample to do the work herself. And she's doing it nice. Oh, she just batters Suki Smackhouse down on the way through. Oh, but cops a track cut on the way. She's on her way to the sin bin. This is now a power jam with Betty Bonecrusher at the helm.
Well, we've got a penalty.
Aha.
Oh, yes.
So that was a forearms penalty awarded to Betty Bonecrusher. So we've got no jammers out there at the moment. As soon as Betty Bonecrusher's meat hits the seat, the other jammer will be back on the track.
Meat hits the seat, you say, huh?
It's in the rules. And here she comes. Lady Trample's back out of the sin bin now. And pack is starting to accelerate a little bit. Means Lady Trample's going to have to work a little harder to fight her way through. But without too much trouble at all, she gets around Suki Smackhouse and the Iron Tyrant.
And that is a 4-2 pack advantage right now. South Africa over New Zealand.
There we go, holding the front booty queen. And Lady Trample had to work for it, but she's through for another 5-point pass.
Seen a lot of good work by Booty Queen so far. Her and Electra Kell seem to be doing a lot of teaming up for South Africa's blockers.
Oh, there she goes, yep. And gets through, and that is Lady Trample. She is paying the rent out there, that's for sure.
Waving that star cover around, looking for some support from fellow Kiwis in the stands.
And I see a few supporters out there, a few people wearing the black in support of their team, of their New Zealand comrades. We've got Evil, is that an official timeout it's been called? It's a team timeout called by Team South Africa. Deep in discussion over on their bench.
I was out in New Zealand last April for the Lowdown Derby Throwdown camp, where many of these skaters on Team New Zealand were out there skating together. Some of them for the first time. And right off the bat, one of the things that I was told was keep an eye on Lady Trample, because she's going to be one you're going to remember in this tournament coming up. And so far, I don't think that was a lie in the least bit. She's been doing a great job for Team New Zealand, putting up lots of points on the board. She made a huge dent in the scoreboard earlier today against Norway. She's looking good again now, I would say, without a doubt.
And she's got a very casual, relaxed manner about her as well. It doesn't even look like she's working hard for it. She just seems to conserve her energy, and it just comes out in little bursts. She's looking pretty content with herself over there on the bench, that's for sure. Evil Knievel up there on the line in the black for Team New Zealand, and number 8, Gazelle, in her first jam of the match in the yellow for South Africa.
Gazelle seems like a great name for a South African skater.
I think so. Some nice work by Crunch, shutting her down onto the outside.
Thank you. Hard hit to the inside on Gazelle. Gazelle looked like she might have had that inside line there, but once again, Thank you taking her down on the inside, reeling her back to the back of the pack.
Oh yeah, and again, Thank you just dishing out hit after hit. Terra Satana offering some support there. And yeah, they're not making life easy at all, and Evil Knievel clears the pack and claims lead jammer. Oh, so a low block awarded to number 8, Gazelle, and this is now a power jam with Evil Knievel at the helm. There's the 5-point pass.
I'm not sure if Gazelle would call that much of an award.
She was penalised with a penalty.
There we go. You know,
Evil Knievel's through for another 5. The pack is at a standstill. She's only got 2 teammates out there, but she's not using them anyway. She's going it alone each time. Or, having said that, she just truck and trailers with number 04, Renee Brown.
A little Jersey whip helping her out there.
That's the way it's done. Just sit in behind your teammate and let her crack open some doors, and you step straight through them. Oh, nice. Number 33, Ling Von Bot, holds her position on the outside, shuts down Evil Knievel and forces her to call off the jam. Nice work there by Ling Von Bot. That might have saved them quite a few points there. Ivy Knivey stepping up to the crease in the black for Team New Zealand, and Bug Off back on the line in the yellow for South Africa. We've got a clean sin bin. It is 5 on 5.
All hands on deck, so they say.
Had an absolutely stellar day today. There's a great vibe in the air. 3 games running concurrent. And there is a ton of derby wherever you look. It's brilliant. Oh, nice work. Bug off. Beautiful footwork. Sees the gaps, claims them. And we have South Africa with a lead jammer. Oh, throws the dummy to the outside, steps to the inside. But number 28, Alicia Nisbet-Smith, ain't falling for it. It's time for Bug Off to start scoring points.
This is the first lead jammer designation that South Africa has earned in the game so far here in Jam 8, but a track cut is going to put her in the notorious RED penalty box.
And now Ivy Canivy has now the track all to herself, and there's 4 points. So she hits the pack. We've got Suki Smackhouse holding the outside line. Sugar Fist as well, offering some support. She had to work for it, but Ivy Canivy puts another 5 on the board for Team New Zealand.
And looks like a little word from our producer over there. This is 5 out of 8 jams that has seen the jammer for South Africa headed to the box on a penalty.
And the score is reflecting that as well. You've got to keep your jammer out of the sin bin. You can't score any points from in there. But I guess no one needs to tell South Africa that at the moment. And again, she's on her way back to the bin again. Ivy Canivy's through, and that's a track cut penalty, penalised to Bug Off.
There we go. Now that's a heartbreak for South Africa's jammer. Bug Off earning lead jammer at the beginning of this jam, only to sit twice in the notorious RED penalty box while she watches Ivy Canivy continue to pick up points for New Zealand.
Here comes Ivy Canivy now, looking for a line, slams into that defensive wall. Her teammates step in now to start shaking things up. They open a gap. Ivy Canivy not able to capitalise. She's bouncing between a couple of South African skaters. Porore opens up a gap, she's through, and that jam is over after another 5 points.
Looks like that was just as Bug Off re-entered the track for South Africa, so we will start the next jam with both jammers on the track.
The first one being Slamuel Jackson in the yellow for South Africa and Fia Fasioi in the black for Team New Zealand. It's a full complement of skaters out there, clean sin bin. So Fia Fasioi just digs in her toe stops and starts pushing. She sees an opening on the inside, but that is shut down by Miss C. Malice, I believe that was. And South Africa have claimed lead jammer.
I had a hunch that Slamuel Jackson might earn that for her team. She was really scrambling right there off the line.
But look at the pace of Fia Fasioi. Oh, hang on. Fia Fasioi's hitting that pack looking for points. She clears the pack, putting 4 points up there on the board. And Slamuel throws the dummy, takes to the outside, hits Terra Satana. She's through. Oh, that looked like a track cut. No, she calls off the jam after putting 3 points on the board. So that looks like a 1 point shanking there by Team New Zealand.
We've got, looks like we've got a timeout while New Zealand's coach, Beast of Hate, is probably going to discuss whether or not that was a track cut, would be my guess.
It looked a little bit like one from where I'm sitting, but obviously the refs have got a bit of a better view of it than I have.
We're quite a ways up here. Well, that was the second lead jam in a row earned by South Africa. 2 in a row, 2 for the entire game so far.
Yeah, well, there's some tough customers. Team New Zealand, like we mentioned, they came 8th out of the 13 teams. And you've got to also remember that New Zealand is, I think, the entire population of New Zealand is only like 4.5 million, which isn't even as many as in the greater Dallas area that we're in right now. So it's pretty impressive they can put together a world-class team.
It is, and considering the isolation that they've got there on those islands, they don't get as much of a chance to skate against other leagues, you know, of the same caliber as their own too often. You know, it's kind of their own thing out there in New Zealand.
Exactly. It's even rare to see them cross the ditch and get over to Australia for a game.
But speaking of, I can't imagine that South Africa's got too many nearby competitors of their own.
You're absolutely right there. Hopefully that might change. We might see Team Zimbabwe next World Cup.
I would be all about that.
But yeah, these are, as you say, 2 of the very remotest teams in the world. And geez, it's great to see him here. It just goes to show the 13 people in the 13 countries in the first World Cup. 3 years later, 30 countries are now competing, and every continent on the planet represented.
That's
apart
right.
from like Antarctica, but we're not going to see penguins skating around out there.
I feel like there is somebody who might have worked in a base on Antarctica that's skating, sort of representing Antarctica out here today.
Yeah, right.
I could be making that up. I've been proved a liar before. It wouldn't be the first time. Team New Zealand also, I think they must be in this World Cup quite happy to not be bracketed with Team USA. 2011 World Cup, they faced Team USA twice. Team USA was the game that knocked them out of their run in 2011.
Yeah, well, that is it's a bitter pill, but I'm sure they're all the better for those two games. And a lot of those skaters out there now are the very same skaters that were in those two games as well. Serious Crash unit now lined up on the jammer line up against number 8 Gazelle in the yellow for South Africa. We've only got 3.5 minutes left in this first half. Serious Crash unit puts on the pace and swoops around the outside, claiming lead jammer. Gazelle having to fight her way around Jordan Perore. Never makes life easy.
So that review there, the track cut no call was contested. The ruling was that the first whistle had already been blown, not all four.
So there you have it.
The refs uphold their no call.
It was definitely upheld. Yes. We didn't see the jammer head to the sin bin, so the call was upheld. So Serious Crash unit comes booting out of the front of that pack at an incredible pace. Nice work there by Nisbet Smith, shutting down number 917, the Iron Tyrant, who's just been handed the jammer star. And Serious Crash unit, while all this chaos is happening, she's just circling that pack again and again, just racking up points. Takes it to the inside, but nice work by Gazelle holding the inside line, forcing her to reevaluate.
Gazelle playing blocker after she passed off that star. Or the Continent helmet cover, as it
Yes,
might be.
Exactly, the jammer Continent. Yeah, that's right, South Africa here representing an entire continent. Now there, we have the jammer star firmly on the head of the Iron Tyrant, and she's having to fight her way past Jennings and Nisbet Smith there at the back. No easy task, as she's quickly discovering. Serious Crash unit now getting held at bay by Booty Queen. Nice defense, holding her position. Oh, hang on, Booty Queen copped maybe a counter-directional block perhaps. Regardless, there's 30 seconds in the bin for her, and Serious Crash unit is through for another 5-point pass.
And New Zealand playing full defense there, letting Serious Crash unit just push South Africa's front wall out of play, trusting that she'll have the power to do that.
So Lady Trample lining up on the jammer line, and Pippa in the yellow.
30 points there for New Zealand in that last jam.
Wow, that is impressive stuff. We've got 1 minute and 10 seconds left. So we may be looking at the last jam here of the first half, but we've still got tons of derby to come. We've got the second half to come, not to mention another 3 days jam-packed full of the best derby on the planet. There's Lady Trample. She's once again through the pack, claiming lead jammer.
And with a smile on her face and a kiss for the fans. Just a little showmanship there from Lady Trample.
I'm getting all teary. Oh, she's through. She cops a nice little hit by Betty Bone Crusher, but she keeps her wheels on the ground and she's through. Looking for points again. There's a nice tight-looking scrum pack there.
And in New Zealand, they take those scrum packs seriously.
Oh, in South Africa, I'm sure they do too. As I said, there's a lot of sporting rivalry between these two countries with the rugby union, the cricket, so no doubt both teams' fans are on the edge of their seats right now. How are we going for time over there? 8 seconds remaining. Unless there's a timeout called, that will have been the last jam of the first half.
And as you can see on your screen, that's 199 for New Zealand, 6 points for South Africa.
I heard some whistle blasts go, and so yes, that was definitely it. That was half time.
It was, and we've got 8 lead jammer designations in 11 jams for Team New Zealand.
Yeah, it's sometimes you can just look at the score sheets, or you don't even have to look at the score. You can just open up and look at the penalties, and you can tell who's won or lost the game just by looking at the penalties. And I think this game is one example of that. If that jammer is going to keep getting sent to the bin for South Africa, there's no way they've got a chance of getting into this game.
And sorry, that was actually 9, 2 lead jammer designations for South Africa. Quite a few jammer penalties taking the toll on South Africa's scoring run. We will be back in a few minutes. We're going to take a little bit of a break, and we'll see you in a few for the second half. New Zealand versus Team South Africa. South Africa wearing the gold and black. Team New Zealand in the black and blue.
Yep, that's right. And Team South Australia on 6 points and New Zealand on 199. Evel Knievel lined up onto the jammer line, getting ready to get back into the action. Lined up alongside Bug Off in the yellow for South Africa. And you are watching, of course, the 2014 Blood and Thunder Roller Derby World Cup here in the Convention Center in downtown Dallas, Texas. And this is where all the action's happening for the next 4 days. That is for damn sure. Look at a clean sin bin to start off the second half, so it is 5 on 5 out there. But our jam timer doesn't seem too... Oh, here we go. He's getting a bit excited now. We're getting ready to get into it.
The crowd is getting a bit excited too. You can hear the cheers from all 3 tracks going on at once.
Yeah.
Must be giving every team energy.
Yeah, it's pretty special. Bug Off forced out of bounds, and Evel Knievel is through and has claimed lead jammer for Team New Zealand. She's back around as well with some serious pace, bouncing between a couple of South African skaters, and she's through for a 5-point grand slam while Bug Off is struggling to fight her way past Parore and Nisbet Smith there at the back. They are making life hell for her.
Nisbet Smith is going to head to the notorious RED penalty box, and that's going to give Bug Off. Oh, Bug Off thinking that she's home free, but she's getting called on a track cut. Bug Off's going to head to the penalty box. That's a power jam scenario there for New Zealand.
Nice hits dished out by Suki. Actually, excellent defense there by South Africa. In particular, Suki Smackhouse just dished out a nice hit to Evel Knievel's sternum as she was trying to fight her way through. But, and again, pretty much identical to the one she just dished out then. And Evel Knievel's forced to yield to Ashtrix, and but she's up the front now, fighting to complete another scoring pass. And there it is, another 5 points for Team New Zealand. So the pack's not moving there on turn 2, and you can see Team South Africa shaping up, ready to repel. Oh, look at those moves like Kung Fu. Just found the tiniest of gaps, and Evel Knievel just pirouetted around.
I always say sometimes the skaters' names seem to pick them. Evel Knievel living up to her name.
That was absolute quality.
All day long, she has been pulling out some great moves for New Zealand.
And next up, Ivy Kanivi in the black for Team New Zealand. And Gazelle alongside her. Again, a clean sin bin, so it is 5 on 5. Gazelle opens up with a big hit to Renee Brown, but Renee Brown is unmoved.
Gazelle looks like she was trying to find that lane that was opened up there by Ivy Kanivi, but New Zealand just shut that down as soon as it was opened up.
Look at Tanku. She is just all over Gazelle there at the back. Wherever she turns, Tanku booty. Oh, hang on. That was a brutal hit there by Renee Brown. And Gazelle just ate concrete. And Ivy Kanivi's through for a 5-point pass. Tera Saitana playing keystone position at the front there. And number 11, Justine Saunders, doing some stellar defense.
And Gazelle is out on the scoring pass. Finally, there for South Africa.
Well, that was hard work.
It's already a sweaty half here, just 2 jams in.
Yeah, you're not wrong there, KC. They are working incredibly hard out there. Lady Trample back up on the line again, a star performer from the first half. And number 25, Slamuel Jackson in the yellow for Team South Africa. And I think Slamuel thinks she's found an opening there on the outside. Let's see if she's right. Oops, doesn't look like it.
She's got the two powerhouses from Rose City, Nisbet Smith and Jennings. If you've only got two blockers on the track, they may as well be the ones.
And yep, their action spoke the truth of that. Just battered her out of bounds. But hang on, she's recovered and she is through, and Team South Africa has claimed lead jammer. So New Zealand have claimed the front of the pack, meaning she's going to have to work for it. Oh, hang on now. Let's check it out. Oh, that is a 4-point shanking there by Lady Trample.
And 0 points put up by Slamuel Jackson for South Africa. Slamuel Jackson owns 2 of the lead jammer designations of the 3 South Africa has earned thus far in this bout.
Yeah, that was good defensive play there by Team New Zealand. They claimed the front of the pack, meaning that the South African jammer had to work all the harder to get to the front. And it paid off in spades. 4 points to Lady Trample.
We've got a timeout called for Team New Zealand.
That's right, we do. You can just hear a buzz earlier on this track. It was Team USA were playing against Team Puerto Rico, I think it was. And I was watching a game across. I was watching the Japan-Chile game. But I just heard this massive cheer come up from this track, and I knew that Puerto Rico must have scored a point.
Right. I was announcing
the
venue call on that, and those 3 points were the points heard around Puerto Rico, I guarantee you.
Well, that was certainly the loudest cheer we've heard here today, was those 3 points. We, when Australia played USA at the 2011 World Cup, we managed to score 4, I believe. Duke Newcombe managed to score those 4. And a similar rousing cheer came from the crowd, so I recognised it.
There are a lot of fans of the underdogs here, just absolutely thrilled that all of these countries have put together teams and traveled so far to come here and skate against each other. It's such an exciting weekend.
Well, Fia Fasioi has just fought her way through the pack. Miss C. Malice working at the back, having to deal with Saunders and Tanku. And they, as always, are not making life easy. Fia Fasioi in the pack now, looking for a scoring pass. Nice defense there at the front of the pack. I can't quite spot. Oh, it's Booty Queen. Did some stellar work, held her at bay for quite a few seconds with the assistance of her comrade Pitbull. The two of them working together really nicely to hold Fia Fasioi at bay.
That's a team we've been seeing a lot of for South Africa, those two teaming up in the pack quite effectively, I would say.
Well, speaking of effective, the New Zealand, it's not even to speak of the New Zealand defence, like they're just, Miss C. Malice has just got nowhere to turn at all. Saunders, Tanku, Tera Satana hanging in the background as well, bridging and waiting to see if she can get round on the outside. And yeah.
Tera Satana had such an amazing game against Norway earlier this morning. Absolute standout blocker for New Zealand, just all over the track.
Yep, she's an absolute murderer. Fia Fasioi swooping around the track now, having a great time of it all. You can see South Africa now lined up a nice defensive wall. And I think that was Suki Smackhouse again. She does some beautiful work as well. She just lines them up as they come down the outside and smacks them one.
Booty Queen just face to face.
So hang on. Oh no, she's through. Our South African jammer, number 22, Miss C. Malice. She was kind of coasting around, and her bench manager's saying, "You skate, you move, you move."
That's right. Well, Fia Fasioi is going to head to the box. That was an unsuccessful star pass. The star is living there outside turn 1 on the ground. No points, however, picked up by South Africa before the whistle. 4 points picked up before Fia Fasioi's penalty there for New Zealand.
So we've got number 575, Pippa, stepping up to the jammer line in the yellow for Team South Africa. She's
going to start off all on her own there. Power jam advantage, South Africa. It's the first power jam South Africa started off a jam with thus far in this game.
Let's see what Pippa can do with it. She has a bit of a spill there in the middle of that pack. She's fighting. Oh no, on her way to the sin bin. That's a low block awarded to Pippa. She's on her way to the sin bin. And we'll see Fia Fasioi back out on the track very shortly.
Looked like there was a little bit of a trip up there in the turn.
She's down and Fia Fasioi is back. Pack rounding into the back stretch. Well, there's Booty Queen and Betty Bone Cruncher working at the front. Also Slamuel Jackson weighing in, but Fia Fasioi is through and completes her initial pass.
She's going to be lead jammer as well. Coming off the bench, gets through clean on that pass.
So Nisbet Smith tries to open up a gap for Fia Fasioi to get through. Doesn't quite work the way she'd hoped, and Fia Fasioi goes it alone, but she didn't seem to have too much trouble with it, and she's through for a 5-point pass.
Giant hit by Jennings. Going to take Pippa back to the back once again.
That was a big king hit. Oh, another big hit from Podore. Big king hit by Nisbet Smith. And a track cut has been given to Pippa. She's heading to the sin bin, and Fia Fasioi jamming unopposed for Team New Zealand.
Seen a lot of heartbreaking instance when those South African jammers think that they are home free only to see that track cut being called. I get the feeling that Team New Zealand sees that track cut and knows exactly what's coming.
Yeah, I think I think South Africa just need to like calm down. They see that they've been given lead jammer or as a power jam, and they just start to get a bit flustered and excited and overextend and get copped for a track cut. I've seen it happen a couple of times. But she's back. Pippa is back on track. But there's the 4-whistle blast, and that jam is over. We've got 11 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in this match. Team New Zealand in the black, Team South Africa in the yellow. And this is the 2014 Blood and Thunder Roller Derby World Cup here at the Convention Center in downtown Dallas, Texas. This is where it's all at. Serious Crash Unit in the black up there on the jammer line for Team New Zealand. And number 89, Sugar Fists in the yellow for Team South Africa.
Sugar Fists just trying to plow through that 3-wall of New Zealand blockers. That's really, you're looking at probably, 100 pounds going against, 3 times that. Those brace walls are just tough when they get in those scrums like that.
There's just no getting past them. Thank you. Does some beautiful defense, shutting down Sugar Fist and forcing her to yield. And Renee Brown weighing in as well. Oh, and hang on, we've seen a track cut being handed out to our New Zealand jammer. Serious Crash Unit on her way to the sin bin. We now have a South African power jam. Now let's see if Sugar Fist can keep her calm, get some points on that board. But yeah, there we go. Thank you. Working together with the captain, Saunders. And there it is again, another track cut handed out.
Saunders calling that as she sees it.
And our New Zealand jammer has been released. The pack is at a standstill there at the beginning of the front stretch. Serious Crash Unit back in that pack again.
New Zealand just doing such a good job of making themselves that impassable monolith there at the back of the pack.
So Serious Crash Unit now looking for points, and we'll see that monolith in action again, KC, and there it is. Sugar Fist collides with Terra Satana at the back. Saunders weighs in as well, and there's just nowhere to go. Oh, beautiful offensive play there by Asterix, shaking up that defensive matrix. But still, no light at the end of the tunnel for Sugar Fist. She's going to get sicker looking at the rear end of Thank You, Saunders and Terra Satana, that's for sure.
I call that a deja vu. You just keep meeting the back of the same wall over and over again, and that has got to suck.
Slamuel Jackson up on the line in the yellow, and Lady Trample in the black for Team New Zealand. Still got plenty of derby left in this game. New Zealand really showing us that they are going to be one of the teams to beat this tournament. Absolutely killing it out there. Came 8th in the 2011 World Cup, and no doubt hoping to improve that this year.
And if Team New Zealand emerges victorious from this game, that's 2 wins, no losses today for Team New Zealand.
I'll have to be pretty happy about that.
Can't ask for a better start.
And not just a scrape-by victory either. They are tearing the place apart here.
Definitely a decisive victory this morning against Norway for New Zealand.
So Lady Trample sneaks another 4 points onto the board and forced to call off the jam as her opposing jammer was approaching the back of the pack. Evil Knievel lining up on the jammer line alongside Electrical in the yellow for South Africa. We've got a 4-2 pack advantage to South Africa. So let's see if Electrical can capitalise on that. But again, what's that? Nisbet Smith and Tanku are our 2 Kiwi defenders. And we've seen the damage those 2 girls can make. Tanku's booty is everywhere. Everywhere.
Such a tremendous game for Tanku from New Zealand.
Yeah, she's just brilliant, isn't she? Look at her. She's just all over her. Everywhere Electrical wants to be, Tanku's in front of her.
Well, Electrical is out of the pack.
Evil Knievel's busted through for 4 points.
Evil Knievel definitely has her eyes on the pack, waiting for the high sign from her coaches to call that off. She calls it off just before Electrical can pick up any points.
Just within a second of her scoring a point, that whistle starts firing. Beautiful defense here by those 2. There's only 2 of them out there, and they did the job of an entire team. Absolutely. It's bringing a tear to my eye. It's so beautiful to watch.
So South Africa tomorrow will be facing off with Norway, who was defeated this morning by Team New Zealand. Norway, I saw them warming up here earlier. They've got another game still today.
Yeah, that's right. If you're a South Africa fan, don't give up hope, because 2 teams from each pool move on to the quarterfinals. And so even though they're copping a hammering here from Team New Zealand, if they do well against the other teams in their pool, they will still progress to the quarterfinals. So Betty Bonecrusher rounding the track now, hits that defensive line. Can she get some points on the board? She puts on the pace. Renee Brown holding her position.
And Ivy Kanivi's on the bench for a low block.
So Nisbet Smith now blocks her out of bounds, forces her to yield. That's Betty Bonecrusher, forces her to yield. And there's Tara Satan and Nisbet Smith, our 2 defenders, and 2 more in the background ready to offer support.
And great time kill there by New Zealand, just killing the penalty clock. It's going to get Ivy Kanivi back on the track, eligible to score. 0 points put up by Betty Bonecrusher during that time.
Ivy Kanivi swoops around the track now. Nice defense by Booty Queen. I've been really enjoying watching her work. She holds that outside line really well. She's got some serious grunt when she dishes out a hit. And she's digging in her toe stops now, and she is locking horns with Evil Knievel there. Evil Knievel's keeping... Oh, is that Evil Knievel? Sorry, I might be getting confused.
It's Ivy Kanivi.
It's Ivy Kanivi. Yep. Oh, come on. That don't make it easy on us. Ivy Kanivi, of course. So she's forced to yield.
And that's Booty Queen reeling her back about a third of the track.
Stellar work.
Booty Queen continuing to be a blocking force for South Africa.
Oh, there we go. That's number 7. I know that from here. Suki Smackhouse, massive hit. She just
She's been the author of quite a few of those massive hits for South Africa.
She has indeed. She just places them perfectly.
And then she skates off the track with a smile on her face.
Oh, I'd be smiling too. She, yeah, some of those hits on the outside have been Very beautifully dealt out by number 7 in the yellow, Suki Smackhouse. Number 900, Watts, Electric Kell, stepping up to the crease in the yellow, South Africa. And number 828, Fia Fasioi in the black for Team New Zealand.
9th jam of the second half. And 8 out of 9 of those jams has seen New Zealand hold the lead jammer advantage over South Africa.
And 2 of the times that South Africa's claimed lead jammer, New Zealand have shanked them anyway. And
a whole lot of love there, though, between those jammers. I like to see that. I like to see that friendly camaraderie between the teams on the start line.
Absolutely. I'm getting a bit teary now. We've only got 3 minutes, 39 seconds left in this game. I've been so enjoying watching these girls smash it out here. Lucky there's another 3 days worth of non-stop derby to keep me entertained, so I'm sure I'll cope.
You'll be pretty okay on a stage. I gotta say, I feel quite privileged to be here at the Blood and Thunder World Cup. Just being here and seeing all these flags in this arena and seeing everybody cheering on not only their own country, but their neighboring countries, their friends in other countries. It is just such a tremendous vibe in here. Everybody's excited. The whole place is just buzzing.
I've been really loving watching Team Italy. Their bench managers like dressing up as Julius Caesar. They've got some, when their war cry is pizza, pizza, pizza. It's pretty funny to watch. Their coach, I think, is named Sergeant Pepperoni. They've been pretty funny to watch.
That's good. Team Australia, I've noticed, has got quite a cheering section as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that you can see at home on camera, but they've got the entire Canberra team, or they've got a Canberra contingent, I should say, wearing gold sequined outfits.
They are very the latest fashion in bright yellow sequin dresses with the Southern Cross on them, cheering for shortstop every time she busts out of the pack. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing to watch. Blow up kangaroos getting around.
And right now, we're waiting to hear the results of this timeout.
Also, Team Greece, there's someone in the crowd dressed up as like a Spartan warrior with a spear and a helmet on. Looking pretty impressive.
I've got a hot dog costume in my car, but I don't know. What's that, Team USA maybe?
I think so.
Okay. Maybe in between games.
So we didn't quite hear. Wakapath, the head ref, just came over to tell us the outcome of that official review. Not quite sure what they were reviewing because we couldn't quite hear, but whatever. The refs did not agree with the decision. The no call stands. The official review is lost, and we keep on trucking. Fia Fasioi in the black for Team New Zealand, and Electric Kell in the yellow for Team South Africa. Electric Kell in the middle of that pack. Fia Fasioi busting out of the front. Electric Kell locking horns.
Well, I just got some clarification that challenge was South Africa was hoping to get a track cut called on New Zealand's jammer, and the refs did not see the track cut, so the no call did stand on that.
That was a bit of a better explanation than that pretty half-assed one that I gave. Fia Fasioi at the front of that pack, trying to fight her way around Pippa. Pippa holding her position very nicely.
That's 5 points in the air for Fia Fasioi.
The pack at a dead stop now on turn 1. She's in the guts of that pack looking for points.
Currently 4-3 pack advantage for South Africa. And South Africa's jammer back on the field. Electric Kell going to make another run for points for South Africa now.
That's right, she takes down the outside, she puts on the pace, and bang, she's through, completes her initial pass. Now Fia Fasioi around the outside, Pippa holding her position, and Pit Bullet weighing in as well, but Fia Fasioi finds her way through. Does a nice little dance as she heads down the front stretch and puts another 4 points on the board for Team New Zealand. We are now in the twilight minutes of this match. Only less than 2 minutes remaining. No more than 1 or 2 jams. And we have Jordan Parore stepping up to the jammer line in her first jam of the afternoon.
We've seen her do quite a bit of damage as a blocker so far, so it'll be fun to see what she can put on the board as a jammer.
And we've got Gazelle in the yellow jamming for South Africa. Parore trying to find an opening around Booty Queen. I think that was Booty Queen. And she's through. You may know Parore as Skate the Muss, but she's skating under her real name here. Oh, she tries for, I think, an apex leap, but Booty Queen shuts that down, forcing her to yield to the back of the pack.
Oh, we have got a penalty.
A low block. So Parore's on her way to the bin. Oh, big hit there by number 28, Alicia Nisbet-Smith. Cops a penalty for her troubles.
Well, that is going to be a legal pass for Gazelle. So Gazelle looking to add some points to the board. 11 points on there currently for South Africa to New Zealand's 305. As you can see there at the bottom of your screen, just 37 seconds left on the bout clock.
So she's trying to find an opening there. Tera Saitana is a terrifying prospect there at the front. Saunders weighing in as well. Miss Crunchbull, our 3 Kiwi defenders. And I couldn't think of 3 more terrifying defenders to have to deal with, especially alone as her comrades are trying to defend against the return of Parore from the sin bin. Parore's digging in her toe stops and she's pushing, sparring with the 2 blockers at the front.
Pivot Samuel Jackson going to the penalty box for South Africa. And that's 0, as you can see, 0 left on the game clock. 14 seconds left in the jam. We've got 14 seconds to put more points on the board before this is a done deal on a stage.
Oh, that was a nifty little maneuver there by Parore. Just manages to get through the smallest of gaps, like more team.
4 more points for South Africa, 5 in the sky for New Zealand.
There she is, looking pretty happy with her one and only jam, and that is full time.
That's right, we've got an unofficial score up, 3-15 for New Zealand, 15 for South Africa. That is 2-0 in the day for New Zealand. New Zealand, of course, defeated Norway earlier this morning and just defeated South Africa. South Africa 0-2. Losing to Wales, now to New Zealand. South Africa will face Norway next. They are probably both going to be really interested in what's happening on this track.
Absolutely.
Coming up, we've got Wales versus Norway.
I'm pretty sure you're going to be seeing the Kiwi and South African teams in the stands here watching this game, but I think if you're a fan of the New Zealand roller derby team, you're a pretty safe bet to say they're going to be going through to the quarterfinals, that's for sure.
And
they have murdered it out here on the flat track this afternoon.
They have, and as you said, 2 teams from each can advance past this group stage, so they will be watching this game. Most certainly Wales having beat South Africa this morning. If Norway can defeat them, then either Norway or Wales will move forward.
That's it.
If Wales is able to go 2-0, then that's New Zealand 2-0 and Wales 2-0. So this game coming up is an important one for this bracket, so stay tuned, and that'll be up pretty quickly.
That's right.